Mr. Clinton, are we live? Is YouTube working today? One way to find out, right? Let's see if YouTube is working today. Hello! How are you all doing? It's been a while since I was posting more regularly, so I thought I would take this Saturday afternoon to say, hi! How are you all doing? I hope you're all having a good afternoon, good time. Hope you're getting through the craziness of the world with your life intact. You know, it's not the easiest time for a lot of people. Badgers. Mushroom. Oh, it's a snake. Hello from Portugal. Hello from England. Hello. Evening, Lewis. It's not the evening, it's the day. You crazy? Are you voting for Biden? I don't know. Rockford Media says, hey, Lewis. Hello, Rockford Media. Have you bought the action cam I sent you through email? No, I haven't bought any action cam recently. I'm going to run my GoPro into the effing ground. When will you leave USA? Leaving New York City is definitely in the cards for me. At some point, leaving the US, probably not. It would have to get really bad for that to happen. Doesn't matter who you vote for, nothing will change 2020. Some things may, you never know. Northside Service. Lewis, get to work. Yeah, I'm not working right now. I spent an hour on my rowing machine earlier today. I've lost about 20, let's see, yeah, like 25 pounds since I stopped taking this medicine that makes you gain weight. But I got like another maybe like 10 or so to go, so I got a rowing machine and I'm doing an hour on it a day. In addition to having my weightlifting setup back, I got a gym put together at the store. You know, private clients only, employees only. Yeah, we were scouring Craigslist and eBay and Facebook Marketplace for like cheap used shit, and we found some stuff. Big Clive is on live. He mentions your channel quite a lot. Maybe you could pop over and say hi in his live stream just now. You know what? Maybe I'll do that. I have a lot of respect for Big Clive. I don't always have the time to watch all of his stuff, but when I do watch his stuff, he is one of those people that I can tell that if I met, there's a good chance I get along with. And I have a level of respect for the way that he approaches his audience, the way he approaches ideas and his content in general. I think it sucks that he's been getting these silly notices put on his videos, like, you know, and not misleading and shit like that. There was this one video he did with where they said this thing is going to kill corona, and he was going over how it's impossible for it to kill corona. It was some shit that you put over your flashlight or something on your cell phone and it would kill corona, and like I forgot to talk about that. Let's see, let me find his live stream. I don't see him live. Oh yeah, he has 2 channels, doesn't he? Big Clive live stream. You know what, I will say hi right now. Here we go.
And Iceland products, but now they've dropped it now.
I will say hello and hope you are having a good day. With a smiley face. There you go. How is your cat? My kitty is doing well. He's sitting here and he is falling asleep. What will you be doing today? Probably more rowing. What kind of smartphone do you carry? Some piece of shit. It's a LG G8 that I got really cheap used on eBay. It's not because I have any sort of allegiance to LG, though. Don't take that as an endorsement. I don't really give a fuck what smartphone I use for the most part. I don't do enough with it. There hasn't been enough technological progress over the last 5 years for me to care at all. I just buy whatever has a... I bought that one, I guess, for YouTube because the camera in it is half decent. And it has the headphone jack so that I can use my mic plug-in. But for the most part, I don't really care. There's not a... like... There are... Do you remember my real name says Rockford? I have no idea. Nope. There's not enough advancements. There's just these minor things and these stupid little additional features, but there's nothing crazy. Where would you go? I don't know. I've looked at a lot of places. New Jersey's out because your property taxes are fucking crazy. You don't actually own a home there. Long Island is out because your property taxes are fucking crazy. You don't actually own a home there. Connecticut's property taxes are crazy, but the way they do it is like a mill rate or some shit like that. So even if it's 1.7%, it's 1.7% of 50% of your property value, or 25%, which actually makes it somewhat doable. So even if it's 1.6 or 7%, you're not actually paying that. You're paying that on a reduced value of your home. So I was looking at some areas of Connecticut, but I don't know. We'll see. I want to start, well, once I'm done with the new bike that'll have over 100-mile range, I'd like to actually travel around a little bit more just for fun. Can you direct attention to Mr. Clinton? He's right here. He's my Clinton monster. Clinton, are you my Clinton monster? Oh, shit. Did my remote... Oh, there we go. You see everybody here when something comes up on the screen. That's my Clinton monster over here. Never wanted to believe my father was stealing from his job as a road worker, but when I got home, all the signs were there. What signs? That sucks. That doesn't... Sorry to hear that your family's having troubles like that. Las Vegas, Nevada needs really good repairmen. Yeah, but the commute from the existing shop is a bitch. Indiana property tax is capped at 1% of the value of the home you live in. Yeah. Even if I don't show up to work every single day, it would be nice to be able to show up every now and then without an airplane or a 3-day trip. Indiana kind of makes that impossible. Do you ever do guest appearances at conventions or shows? You know, someone who is an organizer of the Hope Conference was actually fairly insistent that I show up and be a speaker this year. I did show up as, you know, just, I guess, attendee, just a viewer, passive viewer in 2016. It was really interesting listening to Steve Ranbam's show. But I didn't get... Oh, Dr. Evil Genius funded $4.99. Thank you, sir. I owe you some gym usage at my new... members only gym. Don't tell anybody. But yeah, what was it? I really respected Steve Ranbam's conference and how privacy is dead. He did it once every 2 years, I think. I really wanted to go to the Hope Conference, but I don't think that's in the cards this year because of Corona. But I thought it would be... Thank you, Grant Rennie. I thought it would be really cool to go to the Hope Conference this year. I don't know what I would speak about, though. People say right to repair, and it's like, you know, I don't see how that's worth being... That doesn't seem like something that can be the main event at any sort of conference or worth having a room of people show up for. It's, you know, you used to be able to fix your stuff and buy stuff to do it. Now you can't. Fuck the companies doing it. Like, there's not really much that I can get going on there. I lived in Bayside, Queens once. It's right next to Long Island. It was very nice. I will check out Bayside, Queens. I will check out Bayside, Queens. Thanks for existing. Thank you for thanking me for existing. Hi, Lewis says bad at deciding. Hello. Lewis, tour of the gym. You know what? We'll do a tour of the gym Monday night. How about that? How about that? We'll do a tour of the gym Monday night. Yesterday, I got my squats in, bench press, bent over row, curls. Tried to do tricep skull crushers, but it still hurt from Monday because I'm not used to DOMs because I haven't worked out in 4 fucking months. I mean, I should say I have. I've done calisthenics in the park, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Found out yesterday my boss has watched your videos as long as I have. It was a great fun experience. Hello from Kentucky. Hello! You should hang out with Chris Long. Find Chris Long from BNC Connection. Good repair person in Kentucky. Very honorable repair person in Kentucky. I've met, does a good job. Lewis, Las Vegas, nearly needs good repairman. I think I read that. I went to Las Vegas for CTIA. I enjoyed Vegas. I did not enjoy CTIA. Does Michelle James still run the anti-repair conference, CTIA? Hey, Lewis, just got a promotion at work, in part thanks to your advice and videos. Many thanks and stay safe. Well, that's awesome. Good job, Steven Stromboli. That is awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you very much, and I wish you a lot of prosperity in your job. Make sure that your employer understands the value that you're offering to them. More importantly, make sure that you understand the value you're offering them if you are able to help them make more money as you get these promotions. You have the same perks of living in New York City, if any, but it feels like Long Island. Yeah, and the property tax in that section of Queens is likely not 2.2 to 2.5%. I just refuse to take seriously any place with a property tax of 2 to 2.5%. Because people have always had this thing, hello, bad at deciding. I'm bad at deciding, too, when I'm thinking about where to go. People have always said, why do you rent, Lewis? That's stupid. You don't own it. You're just pissing money away. It's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I piss away $1,500 to $2,000 a month on rent. But that's it. You piss away $750,000 and have to pay for all your own repairs, and have to pay to manage the property, and have to pay $15,000 to $20,000 a year in property tax on top of it. It's like, no. You know, I don't think there's such thing as the concept of home ownership if you live in places like New Jersey or Long Island. It's really glorified home rental. Eminent 667 says, big penis. I think that's a typo. You meant to say pig penis. Have you looked at Pennsylvania? Berks County is not that bad. You know, I have looked at Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania has a lot of the same bullshit that New Jersey has with property taxes, where it's like $15,000, $20,000 a year. Pittsburgh's property tax is also crazy. Like, again, Pittsburgh property tax, it's a junior New York, so I'd have less business, but I'd still be getting sodomized in the property tax. Massachusetts, I've thought about it, but again, same general concept. Is there any common problem with an A1502? Trackpad cable that dies for no reason on the 2015 model with an 820-4924 board. Have you thought about Wyoming or Montana? That's a really difficult commute. Watching almost all your videos since October 2019 has motivated me to overcome confidence issues with moving on to information system security. Bachelor since 2008 after 15 years IT operations career. That is awesome. I may do a video on confidence at some point. Because I've been having a back and forth with someone who works at another repair-oriented business that also makes videos that I'm not going to mention about this topic. And I think that there's some things that would help people with that a lot. What can I do in Vegas to help right to repair movement? What you can do in Vegas to help right to repair movement: show up at CTIA the next time they have a conference, and get all the people that you know that are involved in repair to show up at CTIA. And ask them, why do you lobby against repair? Why do you pay lobbyists like Lisa McCabe to make things up, show up to these these hearings, and make things up, and shit-can the industry, and gaslight everybody involved? Why do you do that? And try to get the people that are at CTIA to understand that when they pay $15,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 a day for a booth at that conference, that they are shooting themselves in the foot by endorsing the destruction of the industry that allows them to make money. That's what you could do in Vegas, because CTIA is held in Las Vegas. Also, ask Michelle James who paid her off. Do you think CompTIA certs are worth it? Nope, not at all. I agree a lot with Eli the computer guy when it comes to CompTIA certifications. Virtually everything that Eli the computer guy has said about a CompTIA certification is the exact same stance that I take on the issue of those certifications. How about moving to Arizona? That's a bitch of a commute, man. That's a bitch of a commute. You don't need a bigger, flatter house. You need smaller armchairs. Those things are decadent for one person. This armchair is awesome. I think I got this thing for like $150 from Macy's as an open box or damaged item. And it is awesome. It rocks back and forth and back and forth. Does yours? I bet it doesn't. Exactly. Jealous. You should be president over the repair group and work with each other. Whole states. President of what repair group? You know, there is someone who reached out to me recently who made a claim regarding their personal finances that seems to be somewhat verifiably true, that showed an interest in investing in right to repair as a movement. So I was interested in, thank you, JW. So we proposed the idea of opening a 501c3 that I would be the director of, and we'll see. Maybe that'll work out. Maybe maybe it won't. We'll see. It's not something I really want to announce until it's specific. But I have been working over the details of what I would do if I had actual proper funding to to really push the ball forward and create something that I think would be a proper trade association for the industry, where people could come and they could learn about cell phone screen refurbishing, they could learn about board repair, they could learn about data recovery, they could get support if they were starting their own repair business and were having a bad day or not really sure what they should do from people who were leaders in the industry, where they could come and show up and actually learn and have classes. And also, you know, maybe we hire some of our own Charlie Browns, but, you know, not the evil ones. I think it would be cool to show up at a couple of, you know, like actually target in a greenie for Clinton from the Canary Islands. Someone gave $250 so that Clinton could have a greenie. Do you have a greenie? I need to give Clinton a greenie. Clinton, are you excited for your greenie? He doesn't even know he's getting a greenie. Yeah, I've been thinking about what it is that could be accomplished if we had the money for the Charlie Brown-like lobbyists. But I would not want to hire the ignorant Charlie Brown-like lobbyists. I'd want to hire people that are good at government relations, lobbying, whatever the fuck. It's legalized bribery is what it is. But I would want to hire people who are actually good at that, but who are ideologically in line with what it is I advocate for. So it's the type of thing that they would advocate for in their own spare time, even if they were not making money off of it, so that you get someone who's actually good at it. Property taxes fund schools, libraries, and fire protection. See, that's what they tell you. That's what they tell you. But when you have a town where they have schools that are good, fire departments that are good, property protection, like schools, libraries, fire protection, policing, and all of that, and it's 0.7%, and it works, that destroys your argument for why it has to be 2.5 to 2.5%. Because when they say, like, you need the property tax, don't you, Lewis, you need to spend $20,000 a year after you purchase the house so you could have police and fire protection. Like, they're gaslighting you. They're fucking with you because just 40 miles that way, people pay 0.7% and get all the same shit. So, like, no. I'm sorry that you... I'm sorry that you have fallen for that hook, line, and sinker, and that you kind of need to buy into it to believe that you're not getting ripped off by your local government. Like, if you are already getting sodomized and paying that, I got a new cat and it bullies my old cat, what to do? That's a good question. That's a good question. You're going to have to... Yeah, I haven't fixed that problem with either of my cats in 10 years. If you're at the point where you're... Like, it's kind of like a buy-in, you know. You can't admit that you're being ripped off because, well, then you'd have to admit the fact that you're wasting a bunch of money and which is hard for people. You know, there's a buy-in to a decision where people have to convince themselves that it's that it's logical that they made the decision that they made. Oh, yeah, I'm not saying it. They need it. I'm explaining it to another person in chat. That makes sense. Hello, Catherine. How are you doing? Hope your kitty is doing well. Do you have to keep an attorney on staff or on call all the time? Not really. It's not like I'm getting sued every other day. Famous last words. Clinton? Wait, that's not Clinton. That's a berry. You want a greenie? Blackberry, you want a greenie? Here, you know what? You're a greenie on a plate, like a classy lady berry. Are you a classy lady, Blackberry? She's so cute. Huh? Berry? You want the greenie? You play Dota with that trackball mouse. I love my trackball. It's STFU. Why are you at home? Because I am. Because I live here. Would it be weird to stop in and say hello? Absolutely it would be. Give Blackberry a greenie. Blackberry just got a greenie. Now Clinton wants a greenie. Erica votes for Hawaii. Hawaii too expensive. Mm-hmm. I don't think that is in the description here, Erica. I didn't put it. I don't have it. Oh, now I can. You linked it. I will put it there. Right to repair should be as essential as being able to choose a medical provider or a physician. I agree. Nice to see you relaxing. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Dan. How are you liking the Luna control? I don't buy stuff from Luna. I never buy bike stuff from Luna. I learned my lesson there. This I got from Macy's as an open box item, I believe. What are your... Would you go somewhere like South Florida? Maybe, maybe not. You know, that's a difficult commute. A few thousand miles. I wear a mask for the protection of others. I have a very scary face. Me too. That's one of the good things about wearing the mask is that like, it really does allow for a resurgence of ugly men and women into the dating population. Like, when I put a mask on, you can't tell what I look like under it, which increases my chances. Don't listen, Erica. I'm blind because Luna sells that, and I thought maybe you got it from them. No. I will buy... I don't care if Luna's the last vendor on Earth. I'll fucking machine it myself before I give them money. No. Why is Park Slope expensive? Park Slope is expensive because yuppies live there, and yuppies increase the price of things. And Park Slope has lots of buildings that are laid out virtually identical to Bed-Stuy, but Bed-Stuy has less yuppies, so Bed-Stuy costs a lot less money to live in, which is why I've lived here for the past 12 years and not in Park Slope. I don't wish to pay a yuppie tax for my apartment. They also have more bars and little restaurants and shit like that, but I don't fucking care. Greetings from Germany. Your New York bike videos since the start of the pandemic were otherworldly. Those empty streets, wow. Yeah, it's crazy seeing how empty it is. But yeah, I just all I need to do is find a basic grocery store and a burrito place that makes a good burrito, and I'm good. I don't need to. I don't need there to be 50 bars and restaurants in my neighborhood for me to be happy. Like, if I find one option I like, I'll eat there 3 times a day until I'm dead, or until the place gets tossed out of business for not paying their taxes, as what happened to the local burrito place. Sadness. You plan to expand your business past one location? Nope. I would rather get more mail-in business, and that's the thing that I'm very happy about. So walk-in business took a total shit after coronavirus, but mail-in business went up and up and up. So I'm very happy that I went for one larger location that would be managed by one set of people that have the same philosophy on how to provide a good customer experience, how to learn how to work on new devices, how to deal with difficult issues. I'd rather have one large location that everything gets sent to rather than a bunch of satellite locations. Because the hardest part of managing any organization is really managing the culture of it. And it's very difficult to manage the culture of organizations that you're not a part of. Make mass date app. Indeed. No, seriously, masks are giving the butterfaces an opportunity for a comeback. Would they recognize and potentially ask you to leave an Apple store? No, no. Who the fuck cares? That's petty shit. No one cares. What is your exit strategy if everything goes to sealed and non-repairable? Do something else with my life? You need to play Crusader Kings 2 instead of Dota. You'll be thanking me for all of eternity. Will I? You know what? I'll try it out. I'll try it out. What brand of SSD can you recommend for the MacBook Air 2015? I don't know. The Transcend makes some decent ones, but they run kind of hot. You still use Linux personally? I don't. There are certain things that are just more difficult to do in Linux, and at some point I decided I wanted to spend more of my time doing work with the computer than messing with the computer to get it to work. Because there's all this whole like, well, why don't you read the manual? Why don't you learn this? Why don't you learn that? Why do, you know, if this program's missing a feature, why don't you program it in yourself? Because I have a lot of stuff to do. I don't have time to do that. And if I did have time to do that, I could find other ways. Like, the computer's supposed to serve me. I'm not supposed to serve the computer. And I understand when Apple users who use the products, who like them, have that mentality. You know, like, the computer exists to serve me. I don't exist to serve the computer. You accept fan mail in the future. Sure, why not? I actually have space to put it now. In the old store, a lot of it would get mixed up or lost because I didn't have a place to put it. Do you worry about Apple running through ARM processors? Why would I be worried about Apple and ARM? What does Apple using ARM have anything to do with any of the issues that I've ever had with repairing Apple products? You take any supplements, vitamins, minerals? You taking this omega-3 one that has a good balance of DHA, EPA, a B12 thing, a multivitamin, and glucosamine chondroitin because I have a family history of joint issues and I like to go running and I don't want to end up like my dad getting my knees replaced or having 7 freaking knee surgeries by the time I'm 60. You repair iMacs? Very rarely. Very few people spill liquid on iMacs because gravity goes down, not sideways. Right to repair progress. There has been absolutely none. I have completely and utterly failed when it comes to right to repair making progress. Outside of creating a small group of people who know what it is I talk about on sites like Reddit or /doc comment sections. Outside of Reddit and /doc comment sections, most people have no idea what right to repair is or even that it's an issue. So that's something I'd like to put more effort into going forward. But yeah, I haven't been successful there. I hope in the future to be more successful there. And I have a plan put together that I'm hoping I'll be able to fund and work on. The COVID situation has spiraled out of control. Yeah, it really has. Are you thinking of staying in New York with all the new crime? Crime isn't really the thing that was driving me out. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an ancillary factor. The fact that I'm not able to have I control the updates with right to repair and the demise of New York. Always learn something. Maybe never buy Apple. Thank you. Yeah, like, I mean, you know, the crime in where I live right now is much better than it was when I moved here 12 years ago. But when I moved here 12 years ago, it was absolutely awful. And the real driving factor is just, is New York worth the price premium to live here versus somewhere else? And it's not. Like, it's only worth it if the opportunity is there to make more money. It's only worth it if there's opportunity to make more money. And if that opportunity goes down, then it's not worth it. Crime is definitely something to think about, for sure. You know, like when I'm putting up... Take care out there, Lewis. You're my favorite Asperger. You know, the thing about Asperger's that I've noticed is when they give you tests, a therapist or a psychiatrist gives you a test to try to determine it, the answers are answers that could go either way. You know, like, do you feel awkward or like you don't know what to say or don't understand whatever in this situation? And then I say, well, what's the situation? Where am I? Am I among people that I know and like? Am I among people that share my interests? Or am I among people that are all staring at me like I'm the one, the outlier? You know, the problem is that the questions themselves are not clear. So it's very difficult to actually tell if someone's that. But yeah, what I was saying is, like, you know, crime is not the main thing. It's the expense. Yeah, when I'm putting up wooden boards in my store and I hear people saying, Lewis, you're selfish for thinking about rioting and looting because other people have worse problems. It's like, you know, if people break into your store, whatever, boo-hoo. Yeah, that definitely makes me feel like it's about time to get the fuck out of here to a place where it's not considered normal or okay that happened. But what do you think? Will things be a bit? Wait, what do you think? Will things be a bit normal next year in June? Move my vacation to year because of COVID. I have no idea. I think there's going to be a lot of change. Depends on what you consider normal. Do you consider normal people having the ability to have jobs again and not being afraid that if they go out they're going to, you know, get a virus? Maybe, but not normal. Why do things fall down? Evolution. Things that fall up or sideways fell away from Earth, and that's confusing as shit. So, yeah, like in New York City, one of the things that I've heard is, well, you should have insurance. If you have insurance, then you don't have to worry about increases in crime. And this is one of the things that's incredibly aggravating to me for two reasons. The first is that insurance never pays out. It's a fucking scam. I mean, I could go over it time and time again and give you examples, which I have here on this channel many times, but that, regardless, I'm not even going to bother getting into that. It's a fucking scam. You're not going to get your money out of it unless you're a multi-billionaire. But secondly, insurance doesn't cover anything. What? So, like, they steal a drive that I'm supposed to recover data from and they're going to give me money? I don't care. Money doesn't bring back people's memories. Money doesn't give back people's data. A good 25 or 30% of my business now is data recovery. My customer doesn't care. How do I insure someone's memories? How do I file a claim with the insurance company that says that this person's baby pictures are worth this? Because to them, their baby pictures are worth $1,000. So the insurance claims artist should just, you know, who's this fucking ugly baby? I don't give a shit. But yeah, it's not even that. I mean, there's been a lot more, like, you know, the violent crime is not the main driver for me. It's not the thing that makes me consider it's time to leave. That's not it. You know, people are not going to believe it, but it's not like the neighborhood that I've lived in for the past 12 years has been known as the place where you can, like, lock your bike outside and not have it stolen or destroyed in an hour. That's not it. It just comes down to a fundamental question of, is the amount of money that you pay for New York City worth it? And it's only worth it if you can make a lot of money here. And as that goes away, then spending all that money here is not worth it. Blackberry here, fine, I'll give you a freaking greenie. She's scratching the box. I like your sideburn. You shouldn't. I did them myself and they're terrible. Yeah, the BAC 800 and the BAC 855. It's decent, but it's pretty buggy. And it's going to be difficult to get support from the company. Like, just figuring out how to get a screen to work with it. I had 2 sessions with people at the company, and they couldn't figure out why I couldn't get a screen to work with it. One of mine just died, and I contacted them about it. They get back to me a day later. I get back to them. You know, they'll get back to me in 2 days. Yeah. But it really does. It is a very high-performing controller. It allows it to feel like a race car. Here, Clinton, have a greenie. Do you endorse Joe Jorgensen for president? I don't really endorse politicians. I'll say a nice thing about every now and then, but I'm not with the E word for any politician. Even Larry Sharpe. I said in my videos, consider Larry Sharpe, not vote for Larry Sharpe. I don't have the right to tell you who to vote for, nor I endorse them, because then they're going to eventually say or do something god-awful stupid, and then it's going to be, do you endorse this? No, I don't do that. Kind of wonder what it would have been like if Larry Sharpe were governor instead of Emperor Cuomo. We'll never know. Aaron, I'm gonna time you out because you keep copying and pasting the same shit. And it's annoying. I'm not reading your questions solely because you keep copying and pasting it. That is so annoying. Let's see. Have the cats gone and watched Big Clive stream? Yes, I imagine that Big Clive has greenies. Is right to repair better in the EU or worse compared to the US? If you cannot buy an ISL 9240 chip in the EU, I don't see how right to repair is any better there than here. Now, people have said, but Lewis, we get longer warranties, and it's like, yeah, but the product costs more money there, so it doesn't really make it matter to me. The actual cost of AppleCare is very similar. When you look at the difference in cost between purchasing an item in the United States and purchasing it in the EU, let's say it's an Apple product, the additional money, the money you save buying it in the United States would actually pay for AppleCare. AppleCare Plus or something. If you can buy an ISL 9240 in the EU, if you can get SMC programming in the EU, by all means, I'll say it's awesome. But until then, it's like, don't care. People in the EU are doing the same scrambling through, dumpster throwing away boards to get chips that I do. Have you ever thought about living in Maryland, or is that too far away? It's a little far away. Yeah, that's a little too far away to be considered. What do you identify as politically, economically? I think I lean libertarian. The thing is, every time I say I lean in a certain direction, someone in that direction... How do I put this? The true red pill is realizing that every single side has something that they're saying that is genuinely fundamentally true. And that what causes people to identify one way or another is their temperament and also what it is they choose to focus on. Because what they, this group could be saying something that is actually true, and this group could say something that's absolutely true. It's just, why do you choose to focus on the things that specifically support your political identity? And I think that has to do with people's temperament. Hi, Lewis. Hope you're doing okay. But did I maybe miss something? I don't know. Did you? Did you? How are things going with the new house? I don't have a new house. I think buying right now, or even considering buying right now, would be a complete clusterfuck. There's going to be a lot of price. I don't think the market is ready for me to make... I don't think homeowners are going to accept the lowball offers that I have right now. That they're still bought into this dream that, my house was worth $80,000 20 years ago, so it definitely should be worth $1.2 million now. Okay, fine. You know what? I know it was $80,000 20 years ago, and I want $1.2 million. How about we meet in the middle at 1.1? Like, no, fuck you. How about we meet in the middle at 160K? Like, that's... Next year, we'll see. Did you get the chance to work in any Apple 2020 models? I don't know if anything's been really screwed up differently than the usual, because they haven't been out long enough to know. Your views on Trump's name for coronavirus equals China virus. I think that he has his own somewhat childish but also interesting ways of branding things, and I think that he's reacting to the fact that that there are factions of China that are saying that the virus originated in the U.S., but at the same time, I also don't think that when he's doing this type of branding that he takes into consideration that there's a small percentage of the population that's stupid enough to actually spit on Chinese people when they hear him say that, because they assume all Chinese people are responsible for it. And on one hand, it's like, yeah, he doesn't really have a sense of nuance with anything. At what age do you think it's appropriate for a minor to start taking hormones to transition genders? I fix MacBooks? Are you fucking kidding me? I have no idea. That's not for me. Go ask a freaking doctor. Go ask a doctor. Really love your life advice videos and tech instructionals. You're making a difference. Keep being you. Thank you. I do wonder how that's going to work out. Because there are cases where people actually grow. I forget the case. Jessa Jones was explaining this to me. She has a PhD in molecular biology, which leads me to believe she knows slightly more than me as someone who had to cheat to pass chemistry in high school. She was bringing up specific cases where I forget if it's like a guy that winds up not developing into a woman, or a woman that doesn't develop into a guy, or some I forget what it is. It's like your brain is surrounded in something when you're in the womb or something, or I honestly don't fucking remember, and I just sound like a total idiot. But there are these very specific cases. What do you recommend I should do? I don't know. I would contact the company that made your laptop and bother their 800 number until they fix it for you. I have no idea. Like, I don't know how to fix random driver issues. I have no idea. Reinstall your OS. Have you turned it back on and off again? There's a reason that remote support sucks. The reason that remote support sucks is I have no way to solve your issue. Like, I have no fucking clue. I don't know. But without it being in front of me and being able to test, I have no fucking clue. But I do wonder, like, there was this one condition that Jessa was describing where someone could actually grow up and their brain grows up as a different gender than what they are and stuff like that, and it causes people to believe that there's something different than what they appear as. Like, there are actual cases of that. How the fuck you deal with that, I have no clue. I fix corrosion. You know? Like, it's not my thing. Like, a lot of people jump into that issue and lose their fucking mind over that issue that have no clue. I have no clue. Technical Mage funded $5. Thank you, Technical Mage. Love your life advice videos, tech instructionals. You're making a difference. Keep being you. Thank you, Ayandari. Move to Texas. 7 million people in DFW. You can buy a 200 square foot house for $200,000. 200 square foot house sounds like a closet. That sounds like New York pricing. What's that couch you're sitting in? Some Macy's open box thing. I love your customer service video. Thank you. How many black shirts do you own? I own a lot of black shirts. I like black shirts. I don't it doesn't fit if I wear a light colored shirt. This is one light blue shirt and a light red shirt that I got from Uniqlo that I loved, but they stopped selling it because they're assholes, and now they sell some new fast fashion rubbish, and that doesn't look the same. I want to buy my old shirt. I miss my old shirt. I don't like this whole fast fashion thing. I finally find something that I like, and the store only has one of it that fits. So then I go online to buy it, and by the time I go online to buy it online, and I'll say, I'll buy 5 of this because I like it, it's already out of stock because it doesn't exist anymore. It's like, grr! I can't wait till I can just photocopy my shirts. I'll buy one shirt that I like and make 50 copies of it, and then I don't have to choose what I want to wear every day. I could just wear the one thing that makes me look best every single day. Be beautiful. What would cause a kernel panic on a 2006 MacBook where all the hardware checks out fine? The fact that it's 14 fucking years old. That's what it would do. At what age do you think it's okay to transition from a MacBook to a ThinkPad? Now that's something that I know. At any time you're ready for that transition, I will help you out. That I can talk about. A friend is having a MacBook repaired for data recovery, and someone at your store asked for a username and password. Why would that be? Because you need that to get the data? I mean, that's as basic. Because you need the username and the password to get the data. I know with all the new T2 chip machines, I can't get shit. There's nothing I can get in that machine unless I have a username and password. There's no way for me to actually extract anything. There's nothing I can extract without the username and the password. And a lot of the new T2 chip machines, like let's say the CPU dies, we'll Frankenstein it. Did I say Frankenstein? Oh my god! I'll Frankenstein it together to get it to work again, but like it'll die within a half hour or 45 minutes sometimes. So you get it to work, you grab all the data you can, and then if the machine shits itself, you're not screwed. Also, to test it, so there's this thing with mail-in repairs where let's say I'll fix it, I'll send it back, and they'll say it's loading really slow or this program won't open, so I'm going to file a chargeback on you because you said you fixed it, but Safari doesn't open in my OS, so I'm filing a fucking chargeback. So what I do now is I will denote in text, I'll have the customer email me so that if they say they don't want to give a username or password, I respect it, but now I have that for when the chargeback is filed in writing. There's only so many times I'm getting burned by that. Remote support doesn't suck. I contacted Microsoft support on multiple occasions and they helped me out really well. No, remote support is miserable. Remote support is... it's awful. No one wants to help someone out through a really ridiculously vague issue over the phone. It sucks. It's like, give me the thing, let me figure it out and give it back to you. Adidas or Nike? Neither? But neither. Would you ever accept a buyout from a reputable repair company? How much is it and who is it? I mean, if you're talking about something like CPR, fuck out of here. I will allow my store to be burnt to the ground and fight for it until my very last breath before the letters CPR or You Break I Fix show up in my store sign. I don't want to be bought out by some bullshit-ass franchise. It's just never going to happen. Ever. For any amount of money. And I know that this is the thing that CPR has been doing, going around to all the independent repair shops and trying to get them to buy into CPR, to pay a percentage of their profits to CPR, to take down the store sign, the name of the business that they created, and put up CPR. But fuck that, not happening. Nope, not until the end of time. The day that I'm forced to do that, I'll be in the ground. Even then, I'll come back and haunt the person who puts that up in my store. I like what we run here. We have a very very unique business that we get to run in our own unique way, and I don't want anybody else getting their hands into that. And I think that we're all lucky, even if, we're not rich, we're not millionaires, in spite of what that bullshit ass clickbait YouTube article on us talked about. Like we're not millionaires. We're not like we don't all go back home to mansions, but we run our business. And we go about our business the way that we wish to go about our business, which is something that can't be said for most other companies. And we get to laugh and mess around and get things done and treat people the way we want to be treated, but also make sure that we don't get taken advantage of at the same time. We get to do things the way we want to do things. We get to accomplish things on our own terms. And that's a feeling that really money is not going to change that. It's not. Like, there was one person that offered to buy us out for somewhere around like $3 million back in 2016, right after I started front paging Reddit all the time. And I said no. They wanted me to sign some sort of agreement where I wasn't going to upload videos to YouTube anymore. I was going to stop doing educational stuff. I wouldn't compete, all this stuff, that and the other. And I just know if I signed that I'd be sitting in my mansion in South Beach, and like I'd be looking at the pool, looking at the beach, staring at the like gold digging girlfriend that I'd have that'd be hot from the beach in my kitchen, and just think to myself, what the fuck did I do? Like, what, this is the end? I'm done? I just feel like a piece of shit, it just wouldn't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Money definitely buys a certain degree of happiness. When people say money doesn't buy happiness, that's just bullshit. They just want you to feel better about being poor so that you don't actually try to advance yourself. Like, fuck that. Money does buy a certain degree of happiness. When you have a hobby and you can actually pursue that hobby because you can afford to, that buys happiness. When you're not afraid about where your next rent check is going to come from or how you're going to pay for food, that buys happiness. When you get to eat stuff that you like, that buys some degree of happiness. But there's an extent after which more money, if you trade off certain things, is not going to make you happy. It's actually going to make you miserable. Why do iMac PSU mid-2011 blow up? I don't know. It's because it's a Mac. It's a Mac. There you go. Uniqlo went downhill. Tell me about it. I used to like Uniqlo back in 2015, 2016. Now it's just a bunch of shit. Makes me sad. I miss the old Uniqlo. No, Kopaz, no. You keep your money. What do you think of design? What do you think of manufacture? Did you build a computer you're streaming with? Yes, but I hate building computers. I build a machine once every 6 to 7 years, and even then I just do it once I need to. I can't stand building computers. It's so boring. And monotonous. And uninteresting. What's the black post behind you? That is a lamp. Remote support does suck. Having someone that barely knows what they're talking about attempt to describe a problem is not fun. Exactly. Just give me the shit. Let me figure it out. Let me give it back to you. If it's good, pay me. If it's not, I'll, we'll work from there. But fuck remote support. It's awful. What are your thoughts on design? What are your thoughts on manufacture? Why does that silly question keep getting posted? Stop copying and pasting shit, man. CPR is the Thomas Edison of repair, make a fortune of other people's work. Listen, they got a business model going, The higher ups at CPR are definitely probably living in nicer apartments or houses than I am. I'll give them that. They're better business people. How much have you thought about that space next to the Apple Store? I've thought about it. It's just they wanted $45,000 to $49,000, so no. Where are most of your viewers from? The U.S. And hello to Cape Town, South Africa. If you are pushing for board level right to repair to release schematics, how is that different than chip level repair? I could see this as a slippery slope. Perhaps it is a slippery slope. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is a slippery slope. The problem is that you're talking about a slippery slope towards something, whereas we're already hanging off a cliff. So I'm trying to get us off of the cliff, not where we're standing where the little piece of rock rubble is about to fall and we're going to fall back into the Grand Canyon, so I'm not as concerned about it. Here, have a little hippiness. Looking at new Dell XPS or Acer Concept D, thoughts on the quality of either. The Dell XPS seemed well built. I tried Jason's 9500, I think, a few years ago. I've never tried an Acer Concept, whatever the hell that thing's called. I would trust Dell more than Acer. So now you have a not gold-digging girlfriend, right? Yes, indeed I do. Erica is a not gold-digging, lovely, beautiful woman. Say hello, Erica. Hello. That was her saying hello. How's the bike fork project? Going better. It's definitely going better. I went to a bunch of these annoying hipster bike shops where you walk in and they have garbage attitudes like NYC Velo, and they just said that's not possible. We don't do that. We would not do that. That's not possible. And then this dude that just is a commenter on my videos at bikerescue.nyc shows up and in fucking 20 minutes installs it, works perfectly, beautiful, looks amazing, perfect job. Because he's not trying to be a hipster, a condescending hipster prick. And that's one of the things that drives me nuts about New York City bike shops. The part I hate most about remote support is when they broke it, think they know how to fix it, and fight you on everything you're trying to do. Yeah, that's annoying. I can't do remote support. I can't do it. I don't want to deal with it. Give me it, I'll fix it, I'll give it back to you, but screw remote support. Yeah, like I've gone into bike shops where they said we don't work on electric bikes. Like, okay, fine. You're not going to do anything else. Can you change my tire? No, we're not going to do that. So I would actually have to lock my bike up where I got the tire flat, run home, get the equipment that I need to remove the wheel from my bike, then bring the removed wheel to the fucking bike shop and have them change the tire because they're not willing to take the wheel off themselves because the bike has a motor on it. I've dealt with the bike shop. Oh, here's another one. I went to 4 fucking bike shops 2 weeks ago because I needed some of the hydraulic brake fluid, which is pretty much mineral oil. I probably should have just went to a pharmacy and gotten it there or a Walgreens. And 4 bike shops said that they did not have it. 1 bike shop said that they did, but they couldn't work on the bike because it was electric. So I said, okay, how about you sell me the disc brake fluid? And they said, we can't do that. We only sell it as a service. So I said, fine. How about I pay you the full amount of money that you would have wanted to work on this bike if it was not electric, just to give me the brake fluid. You wanted $55 to fix it, fine, that's cool. Just sell me the brake fluid for the fucking $55, and they said no. So the New York City bike shops are an absolute scourge on humanity, the way that, at least in my experience, the way that I've dealt with them, and it sucks. I really wish there were more places out there like bikerescue.nyc where they just show up. They don't condescend you. They don't talk down to you like you're a piece of shit. They don't not have anything that you actually need. And they just, I want money. You want fixed bike? Let's do business. I don't know how these other bike shops pay their rent. I imagine it's just off of selling $2,000 to $4,000 bikes to the top 1% that live in the city. That has to be it. You see how a lot of these bike shops that were not condescending cunts have turned into like Treks. They've just turned into large brand name stores, and it's kind of sad. Money does not buy happiness, but allows you to afford your own type of misery. No, it does buy happiness to an extent. I'm much happier now than I was when I was broke, and you could do all the gaslighting you want to make me think that the reason that I'm happier now has nothing to do with the fact that I am not like buying apples for $1 to feed myself. But no, money does bring you some happiness. It really does. Again, I'm not saying that a billionaire is happier than a millionaire, but you know, a thousandaire is much happier than a minusaire. A future project for the bike, try installing an automotive Morimoto Mini H1 projector. Google Morimoto Mini H1 beam. The most important thing that buys you happiness is knowing you've made a difference with what you've done. Exactly. And you can, that's the other thing. Money will allow you to make a difference in a way that no money doesn't. So, for example, if I wanted to hire a proper lobbying firm or a government relations firm in every state where right to repair was a thing, in my document where I was going over what I would do with a 501c3, if I can get this guy that's actually a billionaire to donate to a 501c3 for right to repair, which we're in the process of working on, that could cost anywhere from $1.2 million to $14 million a year to be done properly in every single state to the point where we'd actually win. That's something money, well, what if I am able to get that passed? What if I am able to push that through? But again, money, it takes money to do that. What's your drink of choice? I love water. What I've liked lately is coconut water plus banana plus this vanilla protein that I got at the store. It's awesome. Coconut water, that Zico coconut water plus a banana plus the protein powder. It's amazing. Why don't you drive an e-bike or a speed bike? Oh, thank you. I do have an e-bike. I made my own e-bike, and I love it. I don't know why you think my bike is not an e-bike. I love my e-bike. What kind of PC do you have? That's boring. You don't want to hear me list specifications all day. It works. Does it matter? Who cares? Building computers is like building Lego, but more expensive. Yeah, but I guess what kills me about the whole thing of building a PC is that people like drive themselves absolutely insane doing research and all this inconsequential shit that is really not going to make much of an actual difference so that they can believe or perceive themselves to be an expert in something because they're not an expert somewhere else. I think that's what kills me with it, with a lot of the PC building stuff. It's like people will dive in and spend 50 hours researching one PC build and becoming truly informed on these things, like 120% informed, way more informed than I am on some small detail that doesn't actually make a difference in much of anything, or their productivity, or their life, and anything else. And it's just, I don't know. I thought PC building was really cool when I was 16 and 17 years old, and then I just started to see it as a chore, and then and then after reassembling like your 20,000th MacBook, you don't want to reassemble or assemble anything. It's like, fuck that. I don't want to assemble anything. It just gets boring. About right to repair, even official L3 Samsung techs don't get schematics. No way in hell you can do something productive at my workplace. Yeah, that's a sad thing. Like, fixing a board is something that I actually find fun because it's open-ended troubleshooting. It's detective work. It really is. Building a computer, again, it's like Legos. It's like when you have a Kinect set, and the first time you get a Kinect set, I like Kinects way better than Lego, by the way. I had the solar-powered kit when I was a kid, so you can build little cars and shit and power them off of your light bulb. I thought it was really, really fun to build stuff with Kinects. And then after a year, once you've built everything in the manual and you built a couple of other things in your own, it's like, I'm done. I'm bored. I'm tired of this. I grew out of it, It's really cool in the beginning, and then it becomes slightly more boring and monotonous, and then I just kind of grew out of it. Eventually, I'll grow out of board repair too. Once I've solved all the problems a zillion times. Do you feel safe in the streets of New York? I follow Jason Goodman and it doesn't look good. Where are you? Are you walking down 34th Street and 8th Avenue? Are you walking down Delancey and Ludlow? Are you walking over the Williamsburg Bridge? Are you walking around in Park Slope? Are you walking around in Bushwick? Are you walking around in Brownsville? Are you walking around in East New York? Like, where are you walking? New York is a big place, When I Google Jason Goodman, the first thing that shows up on YouTube is the Plandemic. Yeah. I've yet to meet someone in person who uses the word Plandemic who strikes me as an intelligent person. I'm open to being proven wrong. As someone who thinks the way lockdowns and everything else was handled was an absolute steaming pile of shit, I'm still not, It's just a lack of creativity, It's like when someone says that a Democrat is a democrat. Like, you're not... That's kindergarten level creativity right there. Assembling laptops is like bureaucracy. It's mind-numbingly stupid. Yeah, I hate reassembling computers. I shouldn't say hate. I intensely dislike it. It's boring. Little want to accept the liability of the type of person that owns an electric bike, clearly either a very specific personality type. That doesn't make any sense. How many watts are you running on your BBS HD? Currently 4,000. 4,000. Soon to be 5,000 to 6,000. I want to see how much you can put through that little thing before it just explodes. 1,000 watt motor, my ass. That thing is incredibly underrated. If you use a sine wave controller or not the piece of shit it comes with, the piece of shit it comes with, you can kill it at 1,000 watts over and over again. You can kill it at 500 watts with the garbage it comes with. Put a good sine wave controller on it, you can put 4,000 watts through that thing. It's crazy. For my state and city regulatory purposes, I use 750 watts at 42 volts at up to 19.9 miles per hour. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Me too. Of course I do. I only turn that little switch to 4,000 watts in throttle and no pedal assist when I leave the city. I'm a good citizen. I do what de Blasio and Cuomo tell me to do. I respect de Blasio and Cuomo. Of course I do. Cuomo is my emperor. And if they vote 137-4 in favor of the bikes being legal, but the fucking emperor vetoes it, I will listen to the emperor. Why are New York and San Francisco so fetishized? Who would pay for a human cage and then share it with people with the same illusion? I think a big part of what people come to New York City for is the economic opportunity, and also the high density of people means that regardless of what it is that you're interested in, you'll find someone here that is also interested in that. Yeah, if you're in a town of 6,000 people and you have this very, very narrow scope of scientific research that you want to do, or this really strange idea, it's going to be really hard to actually make it happen in a town of 6,000 people. Because you'd be lucky if you find even one other person in the town that's actually interested in what you're interested in. In New York City, when you have 8 million people all on top of each other, it fucking sucks. It's annoying. It's aggravating. The people are pricks. The city is dirty. The prices are high. The quality of life is low. But you're going to find someone in the city who... You're going to be able to find someone in the city that you can connect with. Have you ever torn apart an engine? Nope.
Robust.
Are you still interested in the Librem 5? Nope. I lost all interest in the Librem 5 after speaking with some people about the philosophy at the higher levels of the business. I've entirely opted out of caring about the Librem 5 in any way, shape, or form. It kind of disappointed me. I am much more interested in the Pine phone. I actually have a Pine phone on the way. I'd like to look at the Pine phone. Yeah, I lost interest in the Librem. What are your thoughts on the 5G China HW thing? I think that we can say all the stuff that we want and pound our chest all we want until raw materials are actually made in America again. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. At all. We don't make anything. Even the stuff that we make using stuff from other places. We are very, very dependent on China. And all the people that'll say that I'm an asshole for saying it and how dare I ever try to make money off of Chinese goods are the same people sitting at home, a television that has a bunch of shit in it made from China, a phone with a bunch of shit in it that's probably made in China, even if it's assembled or with parts or IP from South Korea or the US. They don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it. But it is what it is. Yeah, you can't make up for 40 years of decline in just like that, you know? You can't. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Here's how to put it. So let's say that someone bought my company, right? But all the people at the company quit. You're not going to have Rossmann Group at that point. You're not going to have everything there. There's going to be manuals. There'll be tools. How do we make use of those specific tools? What strategies do we utilize? How do we make everything work? There's a lot of stuff, even if you wrote down every single little thing, even if I gave you all of my videos that show how to do all of my stuff, there's a lot of stuff that's inside the brain that's not in there. There's a lot of small aspects that you don't know. And when you close down a factory, when you close down a manufacturing plant, when everybody goes and does something else with their life at that point and stops focusing on what they used to do, you can't just get that back immediately. It doesn't come back immediately. And how are your data recovery services expanding? Slowly, but surely. Kind of sucks that we can't use AdWords, but is what it is. Also sucks that certain data recovery companies can use AdWords and we can't. That's bullshit, but, we're working on it. Yeah, innovation may come from the West and not China, but like actually making stuff. There is institutional knowledge that's built into the structure of an organization and that's saved within the people. Whereas even if you were to bring people back, hire people again 20 or 40 years later, it's not going to be the same because you've lost all of that institutional knowledge that was in the heads of the people. Because let's say one person quits or even two people quit, but two people take their place. They're going to learn from everybody else that's there and they're going to get up to speed. But when everybody leaves and then you try to bring everybody back 30 to 40 years later, it's just not even close to the same. I think 2 years ago on New Year's Eve, I took the rainbows out of you for fixing boards on New Year's Eve. This year I celebrated alone. Now you have... God, why does it stay on the screen longer? Son of a... Do you take Apple iPad repair from Japan if I pay shipping both ways and repair costs? Original songs are on it to recover repair of iPad as a bonus. Yes, we do. Sure. For data recovery, yes. For normal repair, we don't usually do on the iPad, but for data recovery, we do. What are your thoughts on custom water cooling? I don't care. It's boring to me. It's investing 3 to 5 hours of research and saving 4 Celsius on your CPU that's never going to care anyway. I don't care. Like when I was a teenager, that was very interesting to me. When I was 17 years old and I was doing stuff with my computer that required that it be very competitive in its processing speed at a low cost, and I had a lot of free time, I would fuck with it all day. As an adult, I really don't care. Exactly, John, you brought up an excellent example. I don't know why you're not a mod here, but you are on the other channel. But yeah, with this institutional knowledge, Answer, you were saying, goes to the NASA Space Shuttle. They started having issues with it since people who knew it had left years ago. Exactly. And that's the thing. If you try to actually bring that program back, you can't bring it back immediately because a lot of the people that knew how to make everything happen are gone. And there's no one to ask questions to because they all left. You now have a girlfriend and I'm still alone, joyful karma. Oh, that's nonsense. It's not karma that you're unhappy. Used to use a Moto G. I just ditched my brand loyalty to Samsung and bought a Moto G stylus. Does everything the Samsung did for half the price. I have a broken Moto G that I have been putting off fixing for a really long time, but right now I'm using an LG G8 because I got it really cheaply.
Robust.
Mike Clinton. I don't know if I'm wrong. I find out you are too vulgar. This is my only remark on you. Watch something else? I don't care. I don't care. Could it be possible to remove a T2 chip and have still the MacBook work? No, because the T2 chip serves all the functions that used to be served by the platform controller hub in older designs. Tell me about your setup. So this is my chair, this is my microphone, that's my camera, and this is my kitty. His name is Mr. Clinton. He's the centerpiece of my setup. Since you recommended that Rode mic to Alan, everyone is using them. They should pay you a commission. What will board repair look like 10 years from now? I don't know. I would need a time machine to answer that question. We'll see if we still have board repair at this rate. Is ESD a lie? Absolutely it is. Just like it's not a pandemic, it's a plandemic. It's not electrostatic discharge, it's electroscam discharge. Yes, ESD is a thing. But firstly, it depends on what type of devices you're working on. Japan iPad repair won't be looked at, just recovery. I don't understand what you mean. We offer data recovery on iPads. If you want to send it in, we can work on it for recovery. If you don't want to send it in, then we don't. But I don't know what that question means. We're not going to make the iPad work again. Fuck that. Our business primarily offers free estimates. You can't offer a free estimate on a device when there's a good chance of breaking the screen, and the screen for it is like $300 or $400 now with the iPad Pros. That's just, it's not something that we find worthwhile. And most of the time, if the repair cost on my experience with the iPad over the past 8 years, if the repair cost is over $100, the customer lectures me. And they scream at me, and they call me a ripoff. So at some point, after 5 or 6 years of it, I found it personally easier to say, we don't fix them, go here, than to tell someone it'll be $120 and have them go, Like, I'm just tired of hearing people spit phlegm at me. So data recovery, yes. Fix. Jessa at iPad Rehab offers it. Sunday at iPad Rehab is much better at dealing with the phlegm garglers than I was. I think Japan meant that you won't look at their data. I have no idea. Like, we do data recovery. If you want data recovery, great. If you don't, I don't know what to do for you. But we do data recovery on the iPad. If you think 2020 is crazy, wait till you see what happens in 2021 when the housing market collapses. Yeah. Yeah. What's better in your opinion, AMD or Intel? AMD by far. Can you tell me why my MacBook Pro doesn't sleep when closed? You probably spilled something on it. Either that or you replaced the screen with a refurbished one where they forgot to put the magnet back in the assembly so that when you close it, the Hall Center doesn't detect a magnet. One of those two. What's your view on Apple switching from Intel to Apple Silicon? I don't care. Don't care. What's the point of caring about that? What does it matter? Who cares? Forget 2021. Evictions are about to skyrocket. We're back to the days of the jungle. 1906. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. That any of the riots and looting and stuff that you saw in the beginning of June, that was absolutely nothing compared to what's coming. What's coming is going to be way worse. Way worse. Lewis is always cranky. No, I'm a happy guy. I enjoy life. I have my rocking chair. I have my kitty. I have salty commenters, but salty YouTube comments are a reality of life. They don't decrease one's happiness. Speaking of houses, did you ever find a new home? Nope. No one's close to reality in this market yet. We'll see if reality hits them in the face next year.
Robust.
Be a bit more positive. We always come back from any disaster eventually. Being realistic is not being positive. It's being realistic. You should always be realistic. I'd let you remove my leaky capacitors any day with a fish. That's strange. I don't want to be mistreated again. Sorry, bye. Why do you have to announce that you're going away? Now I time you out. Now I kind of want to mistreat you. You sound whiny and complaining. Go away. Also, Kopaz is not a moderator. Is he still? I thought I got rid of him as a moderator. God damn it. Fuck that. Alright. Fixed. I thought I got rid of him as a moderator a month and a half ago. Alright. Can you mistreat me, please? I need to finish one project and have no time to waste on YouTube. Absolutely. Mistreatment coming right up. GTFO. I fully understand, but what if it's something crazy simple like a connector?
Robust.
I mean, now we're just getting into like the... Am I allowed to say this? Because I'm not... Yeah, you didn't call the store or email, so I don't have to be a customer service person. When someone says, but what if it's something simple? What they're saying is, I don't want to pay you to fix this shit. I want it to be... I want to give you a pack of beer and we're cool. No. Jessa, iPadRehab.com. Go to Jessa. Go to iPadRehab.com. She will help you. 99% of the time, but what if it's something simple, is code for, I want to give you a pack of beer and call it cool when you do something that took you an hour because I thought it was simple. I can't do that. No. Jessa Jones, iPadRehab.com. That's iPadRehab.com. If her domain name expired, then you can also try MendonIPadRehab.com. I forget if it's MendonIPadRehab.com or iPadRehab.com. Every time someone said, I think it's something simple, this is code. This is a dog whistle. It's just the cable. Like, no, it's not. It's not the fucking cable. It's whatever the cable's attached to. It's just this. It's just that. It's just a small thing. No. You're not trading me beer to recover your data. No, screw that. Screw that! I'm allowed to say this. You didn't contact customer service. If you contacted customer service on the website or called, then there'd be someone that I pay that politely explains this in a kind way, in a customer service friendly way. Polite, kind, happier, fitter, more productive. Absolutely, sir. We'll work with you on the price range that we've specified for your iPad. We have it in... No. You asked in YouTube chat. You're not trading me a fucking pack of beer to fix your iPad. Screw that. I actually appreciate 2020 now because now my generation has a meaningful place in human history as that which survived the year where God wanted to end us. As bad as COVID has been, there's been way worse throughout human civilization. Like, this is not where God's ending us. Fitter, happier, more productive. Not drinking too much. Regular exercise at the gym. Is my cat smart enough to break into the greenies? Let's see. Why are you sending the choosing beggars to Jessa? Poor Jessa. I don't know. For fun? Yeah, why not? I can see you're not sleeping well. I've been sleeping pretty well, actually. I got a very good night's sleep yesterday. People have this notion that if your eyes are dark, it's always because of bad sleep. I was just born that way. Come on, Eric. It's a tripod. You have to loosen it on the side. That's not even attached to the bearing. Yeah. Mr. Clinton OnlyFans. Well, that's coming right now. Let's see if Clinton will break. Let's see if Clinton can open the greenie. What's worse? So what's worse, the what if it's something simple or the pay cash no tax people? It's usually in the same. Yeah, it's. Agree to disagree. You don't deserve inflated price if you do a quick fix, just fair, and hours work and hours wages. Well, yeah, but you don't deserve inflated price. Who said inflated price? Who's mentioning an inflated price? Who ever brought into the conversation a discussion of inflated price? Why are you assuming inflated price? See, that's the thing. Like that's the whole thing right there. It's like that's just it's an assumption that's made. If you believe the prices are inflated, then you shouldn't be doing business with us. It's that simple. But then he's going to run away. If you believe the prices are inflated, I agree. That's fine. Like, by all means, don't, it's all on you. You can go somewhere else. I respect competition in the industry. Yes, Sunday, that's it. Also, there's not really much such thing as deserve in this industry. There's really just earn, Like, if I don't fix it, and I spend 10 hours on it, and I can't get the data, someone may think that they deserve to get paid for that time, but that's not fair to the customer either. That's not fair to the customer. You spend 10 hours on it, you didn't get anything. Yeah, you may think you deserve to get $100, but the customer who doesn't get any data back from that doesn't think they deserve anything at all. I don't want to pay someone who wasn't able to accomplish anything. I don't care how much time they put into it. I don't care how much effort they put into it. They didn't do it. They didn't get the job done. I really don't like the idea of deserve when it comes to this business, because what people think they deserve is very different from what customers believe they deserve. So I like to keep it to a discussion of what's earned, because I don't in any way, shape, or form deserve anything from the customer's standpoint if I spend 10 hours on something and I get nowhere. If I run 50 jumper wires and it still doesn't work, I deserve shit. I may think I deserve something, but I haven't really earned anything from that customer. When I use the word earn, it brings in the discussion of what the customer values versus what I value. I don't know what it is, and since you keep copying and pasting it, I hit the timeout button. I hit timeout! Tyrant! What happened to the greenie?
He gave up.
Did he give up that easily? Really? No motivation? No incentive structure? That's not the cat that I know. He just canceled himself. The customer isn't hiring you to work for 10 hours. They're paying for a fixed product. Yes, that's the whole point. They're not paying for the amount of time it took. So, and that's the other thing that gets confusing with business models. So how do you set up your business model? Erica, come on. Come on. Like or for instance, if you have a no fix, no fee model and 40% of the devices you get are not fixable, but it takes you 5 or 6 hours to figure it out, but sometimes you don't fix the fixable ones on the 5th hour, but you do fix it on the 6th hour, how do you monetize that? And then is it unfair if the ones that were simpler wind up getting charged a little bit more so you can keep no fix, no fee for everybody else? Because the thing is, there are people that have a diagnostic fee and they tell you it's going to be $100 to $2 even if I'm not able to fix it, that offer a lower cost on the repairs to everybody. So for instance, when I used to be at 186 First Avenue, there was a store 2 blocks away called D&Q Computer. They actually charged less than us for a lot of repairs, but they had I think it was a $45 or a $50 fee, and you had to pay that whether or not it was fixable. So if you bring a device to them, for them to tell you what was wrong with it, $45 or $50. If they were not able to fix it, you still paid the $45 or $50. We charged a little bit more money, but the estimate was free and it was no fix, no fee. So you have to find a way to balance everything and make things fair. You need to come up with a way as a business to be able to offer what you believe is fair to your customers and also be able to offer what is fair to your employees by coming up with a model where you pay them. So if you take the model where you're really cheap, but you also have a no fix, no fee model, you're eventually going to be screwed. Or if you have a model where you say this repair was 10 minutes, so I'm not going to charge an hourly rate because it only took 10 minutes. So I'm instead of charging $75, I'm going to charge the customer like $18. But then for the ones that are not fixable that you spend 3 hours on, you charge the customer nothing. You're going to go under as a business. Now, I do believe that there should be some sort of free market when it comes to what is an inflated price versus what is a fair price. I like the idea of the free market approach to it, which is that my competitor gets to decide which one they want. So you have people that work out of their apartment that are dirt cheap. You have people that work out of stores that may be a little bit more accountable. You have people that work out of that work on a no fix, no fee basis, but they may charge a little more money. You have people that work on a we're only going to charge you for the time that we spend on it, but you're paying regardless of whether we get it to work or not, where there may be a little bit less certainty in the price, but you have a chance of it being lower if it winds up being something stupid simple. Like there's all different types of business models, and you have to come up with the business model that works for you. And what I found works best for me is no fix, no fee. We're not going to take on shit that we think we're not going to be able to do because people get really mad when they pay for something that doesn't work. And I'm not going to take on stuff, but like I'm not going to take on stuff under a no fix, no fee model that is less likely to be fixable, because then I have no way to pay the employee, which means I have to pay the employee less money. So you have to work for a while to figure out what business model works for you. Now, granted, you could be less of an offensive prick and say, I'm not fixing your iPad for beer, because that probably comes off as genuinely offensive to most people. But since it is a Saturday afternoon and I'm off from work and it is my live stream chat and not customer service, this is me sitting in my rocking chair saying what's on my mind, not me from my company sitting at my business phone with a customer service representative. So I say what goes through my head. And perhaps I come off as a prick. And perhaps I am a prick. I kind of am. Sometimes I can be a cunt. But I don't know what else you expect. You know what you're getting at this point. It's not false advertising. Why do you choose cats instead of dogs? Because cats are easier to train, by far. You tell the cat, I need you to piss and shit in this box, and they do it. Dogs, you can get to do all the other stuff that's important. But it's hard to get a dog to piss and shit in the box. Also, the kitty would chase the mice and leave them out of the apartment, which is very important. Answer my dono. JCraftFX. All right, what did you say? Bruh, I got scammed. I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's see. Why is your washing machine in the middle of the room? Because it's near, well, I don't know, ask Erica. Let's see. What did did Jcraft show up? Let's see. Let's look this up. All right, what do we have here? It's not in Streamlabs, so we didn't use that. Is it on YouTube? Not to mention, time does not equate difficulty. Yeah, that's another big part of it. There are repairs that Duke can do. I think. Do you think ARM MacBooks will be harder to get parts for? No, I don't think it's about ARM MacBooks being harder to get parts for. I think MacBooks in general are getting harder to get parts for. I think ARM simply just so happens to be on that same thing. Also, I don't know why that didn't show up in the screen. Maybe I didn't see it. I don't think that Jcraft that ARM MacBooks are going to be more difficult to get parts for. I think that MacBooks in general are going to be more difficult to get parts for. Like you could see with Intel MacBooks. Can I buy a CD3217? No. Can I buy an ISL 9240? No. Tell Erica to stop messing with the focus. It makes it harder to see Clinton. I will make Erica take a class in photography, I promise, before she touches the camera again. Who pays return shipping if it can't be fixed? The customer. I'm no fix, no fee. I will happily pay my staff to work on something for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, even if they can't fix it. But I'm not paying your shipping back to you. Get out of here. Free shipping if we fix it. You pay the shipping if we don't. I did Tatalote, but that video was suppressed by YouTube, so it got no views. About the law in Mexico about repairing devices. I did a full video on it. It showed up in no one's feed, and no one watched it. It's about a week and a half ago. Get them kitties some meow, catnip, the good stuff. Why, thank you, Carrie. I already gave them greenies. They've gotten enough greenie. I love your videos. Keep making them. Thank you, Hans Hansen. Those cats had better be paying rent. They're freeloaders. Leeches. I've liked my rocking chair since I was a kid. I've always loved my rocking chairs. I sit in my rocking chair, read my Bloomberg news at the end of the day, and go to sleep.
That's what the cats have. You gotta show it?
Organic cat crack?
And catnip spray. No, you don't put it on her face.
Why is she so scared?
Well, you don't sprinkle it on her face.
I would like crack sprinkled on my face. Can you sprinkle some crack on my
I
face?
gotta clean her face. She has catnip all over her face. Barry, come here. Come here, baby. Oh, I know. Come on, let me clean your face. Let me clean your face.
I don't know, Gabriel. Did you help the woman or stand by and film it? I called the police because I've learned my lesson. So when I was, I forget if I was 19 or 20 years old. Never going to forget this. I was by the 33rd Street Rawson station on the 7 train going to LaGuardia College. And I see what looks like a man beating a woman. And it seemed absolutely, I was like, is that like a normal fight or is that like a relationship fight? Oh no, that's savage. And I go in, I try to break it up. I grab the guy, I push him away. He goes to punch me. I block, I dodge another punch, and then I go to hit him. And right before I go to hit him, I get smashed in the back of the head with a textbook by the very woman that he was just beating. And she said, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop that, you're hurting him. It's like, he was just beating you. What the fuck? And anyway, I wind up getting up a few minutes later because it wasn't like a full concussion like what happened with my bike where I was taken to the hospital. It was a good like 5-minute complete nutter disorientation entirely. Then I am walking over to the school, and somebody comes over to me and complains and says, like, we're trying to talk those two down from pressing charges against you. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? I'm going to get charges pressed on me because I tried to pry a guy off of a woman while he was beating her. That's not the first time that happened either. And like I hate to say it, it makes me fucking sick, but in New York City, I learned my lesson on that. Like, it's one thing to get smashed in the back of the head with your own textbook that you had just put down. It's another thing that they actually would have had the ability to press charges on me. Because if both of them agree that I did something wrong, now it's 2 against 1. 2 people witnessed me do something to him. So I I actually talked to my martial arts instructor about that, and he said that, like, usually I would think about getting involved in that, but if it's a relationship, like, yeah, the thing that you said is the same thing that I'm afraid of. And it's fucking sad. Because the guy doing it was really old. It's not like you'd have much to worry about there. And then I wound up, someone broke it up that knew them, both personally, who was right next door. Like, at the moment that video ended, this one guy who knew them broke it up. And then the cops were there, and I got a call because I had called the cops, and they had said, so can you talk to the officer? And I said, I have video footage of it. Do you want it? And they said, well, no, there's no complaint being submitted, so we don't need the footage. We're not going to do anything. What? Why did she not file a complaint at the fact that a guy was beating her in the street? I don't know. But that leads me to believe that I would have been in very close to the exact same situation I was the last time I decided to jump in and be a young hero and do the right thing. That's the thing, There's the thing that you think is the right thing to do, and you learn, and then New York City always has a way of hitting you in the back of the head with a textbook with reality.
Robust.
I have nothing smart to write. Enjoy your day. Hey, I have nothing smart to say, so we're on the same page there. Yeah, when I heard from the police officer that I actually felt like maybe I should have said something or done something. But then when I heard, no, that she's not filing any complaint whatsoever, nothing, it leads me to believe that I would have pulled the guy off of her. She would have taken something, smashed me in the back of the head with it. They both would have went to the cops and said, this guy assaulted me in the street. And then I'd be the one in handcuffs being hauled off to a police station. Like, do you consider yourself successful, or do you think there's more challenges ahead? I think I am more successful than I was 10 years ago. I do not define myself necessarily as successful. There are certain things that would have to change in order for me to define myself as successful. I would describe myself as relatively more successful than I was 5 or 10 years ago, for sure. Relatively more successful, but not necessarily successful. A large YouTube channel, I don't really like. There's a world outside of YouTube that does not care about YouTube whatsoever. I mean, I have a YouTube channel, but like, you think it's big because it has 1 point whatever million subscribers. But I really think I have 20 to 40,000. Because most videos that I produce, like a good 90% of the content I produce, will get 20,000 to 40,000 people that watch it. So I consider myself as having a YouTube channel of 20 to 40,000 subscribers. Have you seen anybody moving out of New York due to the employment, or is everyone riding the wave? That's the sad thing. The people who are moving out are not the people who are unemployed that I see. I commented, and I'll find it later, I commented this on some jackass's comment in an old video of mine where they said I was stupid for saying the rich are leaving New York. No, it's actually the people that have money that are leaving. The people that are staying are the people who are broke because they don't have the money to leave and find a new situation for themselves. Thoughts on Cuomo selling a poster which celebrates newer COVID numbers but basically doesn't mention 30K deaths? I have nothing to say about Cuomo anymore. I really don't. You know, the state decided to elect an emperor. You get what you get what you vote for. I voted Larry Sharpe. I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I said consider Larry Sharpe in my videos. I didn't say vote for Larry Sharpe. I said consider. It looks like most people considered Cuomo. So, you know, you get what you vote for. You want an emperor, you get an emperor. My friend once tried to break up a fight, not knowing the woman attempted to stab 3 previous people before trying to stab him. Never take something at face value. That too. Like, you want to be a hero in the moment, and your first instinct is to be a hero. And then you actually try to be the hero, and then you realize that you feel so stupid afterwards. Like, when that first happened to me, when I thought, wow, someone is beating a woman right underneath the fucking train stop, and there's nobody here in this particular spot because this area is not particularly populated. Let me try to do something. And I actually put myself in danger to do it. And not only am I in danger of prosecution, but I also got a mild concussion. I felt like an absolute utter fool. I felt like such a stupid, white knight, pathetic fool. And that's the difference between 31-year-old Lewis and 19-year-old Lewis. The idealism. Just kind of flew away somewhere.
Robust.
If you have one thing to say about Apple's engineers about designing better laptop motherboard, what would it be? I would suggest that they take some of the basic steps that Lenovo has done in covering the board in this very, very cheap thing that is going to cause the water to go to the bottom of the case and then fall out the computer, so that it doesn't kill the machine when people spill stuff on it. That would save so much money, so much hassle, so much heartache. What you do is call the police and videotape. In some areas, the state can press charges without a complaint. Lewis, are you a millionaire? I am not. A lot of people say that it's hard to believe that I'm not a millionaire, or they think I'm lying, and what that tells me is that I'm a bad business person, or that I've poorly managed my finances. Because if it's that unbelievable that I could not be a millionaire, that means that I fucked up in terrible ways. I actually have, there are 3 investments I made that were very fucked up and bad, and if I hadn't made them, there's a chance that I could have been a millionaire. I'm not sure. I did a video on how my supply company failed, but that was a long time ago. But that was an opportunity to become a millionaire, and I completely botched it and fucked it up. And then there are 2 investments that I made over the course of my life that over a long period of time lost me some money. But even those 2 investments, if I hadn't made them, I would be richer, but I wouldn't be a millionaire. But what I've learned from that impression is not that like all these people are being assholes or whatever. What I learned from that impression is that if it's so unbelievable that I'm not a millionaire, then that means that I have done something in business terrible enough to not be a millionaire. Because why is it that so many people think I'm a millionaire and I'm not? It must mean that someone who has accomplished what I've accomplished should be a millionaire multiple times over, and the fact that I'm not means that I have fucked something up. So it's something that I've thought about a lot. I'm likely a much worse business person than I think I am, for the fact that I am not at the financial level that the average person assumes I am, given where I am in life. You look like the man on the porch saying stuff like, back in my day, we could fix our own computers. You spelled our, A-R-E. That's bad. That's bad, man. You need to take some omega-3s. Omega-3 supplements. It's good for your brain.
Robust.
You have 1.22 million subs in a business. No, I have 20 to 40,000 subscribers, and YouTube has inflated that number to 1.22 million. Look at the view count of any video I do. I do not have 1 million subscribers. That is, I don't get what that is. Lewis is a millionaire in Zimbabwe dollars. It depends on the definition you use. Would you sell your business, including your brand name and YouTube content, for less than $1 million? Probably not, but that's not necessarily because it's worth $1 million. Like, it's really only worth what someone else is willing to pay for it. I've had one person ever offer to buy my business for $3 million, and that was under terms that I found comically awful and garbage. I don't know if they actually would have went all the way through with it because I just threw it out immediately in the beginning, and I've never had an offer since. I think people think you're a millionaire because your business looks excellent and well run. Did you see the tour of my old store? I did a tour of my old store. Balls. No. Yeah, I did a tour of my store in May of 2019. This is not by any means. No. Yeah, I'll post it in the chat. That is not beautiful. Are you still lobbying for billionaires not to pay taxes in New York? I never lobbied for billionaires not to pay taxes in New York. That doesn't make sense. Can you provide a citation for me lobbying that billionaires not pay taxes in New York? You probably can't. Let's see. Do you think the EU is ahead in terms of right to repair laws? Nope. When I can buy an ISO 9240 chip in Europe, yes. Until then, no. If I can't buy a CD3217 chip in Europe, if I can't buy an ISO 9240 chip in Europe, if I can't pay for a subscription service that's legal, above board legal to get schematics in Europe, then they have made as little progress as we have. And again, I'm not saying that from a high horse. I have not made any progress with right to repair. I've put a lot of effort in, but effort doesn't matter. Again, remember what I was saying about no fix, no fee earlier? Remember what I was saying about it doesn't matter if I put 10 hours in, if I don't fix it, if I don't recover the data, the customer doesn't want to pay? I have put a lot of effort into right to repair. I have moved the needle nothing, not even like this much. I've done nothing. If anything, over the past 7 years, manufacturers have become more and more emboldened to make it more and more difficult for people like me to get access to the parts, tools, and diagrams and chips that I need to do my job. I've made no difference. All I've done is I've gotten to a point where Slashdot comment sections and people on Reddit understand that right to repair is an issue. That's cool. It really is. I've brought awareness to a small segment of the population. But outside of that, I don't think I have really made a giant difference. And I think I've gotten a lot don't get me wrong, I think that a lot more people know how to fix their MacBook now because of me. I'll give myself credit for the fact that across the world, millions of people probably have a MacBook that works now for a lot less money than they would have otherwise. But that's separate from right to repair. I think I've done a good job of making it seem like it's a lot easier than it is and making it so that people that don't really have a great understanding of electronics feel like they can just jump into this and do a good job. And I think I give people the tools and the framework to do a good job, But that's different from whether or not we've made progress on a legal front. To be a millionaire in your current setup, you'd have to overcharge for repairs, underpay your employees, in general, just be trashy. I disagree. If I underpay the employees, they're gonna leave, and then I'm gonna be stuck with bottom of the barrel people that don't have a skill set, which are not gonna be able to do the work. If I charge more money, then people are gonna say, "Fuck this, I'm going somewhere else." A lot of people think that it's just a binary choice. Like, I will be evil and make money, or I'll be good and be poor. But it really isn't, because it's like, if it were that easy to become rich, a lot more people would just say, I'll choose to be evil for a little bit and become rich. I wouldn't be able to do that. If I told everybody at work today, I'm instituting a 40% pay cut across the board, not because we need it for the next few months because of economic uncertainty, but because I just want to make more money for myself, they're out of here. They're walking. And then I'm going to replace them with people that suck and fuck things up. Our reviews are going to go down. The reputation's going to go down. We're not going to be able to charge the amount of money that we do right now, much less more money in general for service, and I'll be out the door. You know, my business will be off and down the memory hole. Bath or shower? Shower. Shower wins. Have companies like Apple tried to bribe you just to keep you quiet? No, that's never happened.
Robust.
What is your estimate about how much coronavirus have you killed since the start of the pandemic? I think I've killed 50 pounds of coronavirus. We spray the coronavirus. We burn the coronavirus. We destroy the coronavirus here every single day. Just because people don't watch all your videos doesn't mean they're not subscribed. You have some longer form content that might not have time to sit down for all the time. Yeah, that's the thing. I have videos that are an hour. And those hour-long videos have 2 to 4 million views. Most of the videos that I have that are 14 minutes get 20,000 views. Have you thought of relocating your business out of the city? Yes. Do you get more walk-in traffic than mail-in? Yes, I did up until just a few months ago. Would it be worth it? I don't know. That depends on whether or not the employees I have would be willing to come with me, because the employees are what make the business. And the team that I have is a team that I would not easily replicate anywhere else, and I'm not going to be foolish enough to fool myself into thinking that if I move to another town and, in a couple of months, I'll be able to find people that are as talented as Chris or Steve or Paul, or that care as much as Olga or Camille do. Like that's not going to happen. People like this do not grow on trees. They are not people that you can just grab at an instant. It's very difficult to find people that will work to the standards that I set. And I know that I'm not going to find that immediately if I leave. Well, what was I answering before that? Yeah, the thing is, like, when you're, let's see, so if you have, let's do a little bit of math. So 200 to x equals 20,000. Bye. We're going to do a little bit of math here. Let's see. So that is, yeah, like it's one thing when people say, your videos are too long. I get that. But when my long videos are the ones with 2 to 4 million views, and 90% of them have 1.6%. So you have to think about this. 20,000 views, that means that's 1.6% of the overall subscriber number. That's why I don't buy it. I don't believe that 1.2 million people are subscribed. I don't know if it's bots. I don't know if it's spam. I don't know what the fuck it is. I just don't believe that number whatsoever. Like, I get it. Not all the people are going to watch, but like 1.6%, like 1.6%, that number doesn't add up. The 1 million subscriber number is really only good if I want a manufacturer to consider making something, and like it's like with Mantis, or Vision Engineering. I want to get a Mantis Elite microscope, but that has a camera in it that's not a piece of shit. So it would be nice to email them and say, "Hi, I have 1.2 million subscribers in the most popular social media platform. I would like to have a camera custom designed for my influencer station that has a 1080p 60 frame per second HDMI output. I'll pay for it." I may use the word influencer and 1.2 million when I'm writing an email about that. But like I realize 1.6% of the people watching 90% of the content the subscriber number is considerably lower than what it shows up as. I'm not going to bullshit myself into thinking I have more than I do. You really underestimate the message you produce. You may feel you haven't made a huge impact in the rights repair movement, but your message echoes upon many up-and-coming ears. Don't give in and don't stop. We need you. Indeed, absolutely. I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, but I'm going to be honest in assessing the effect of what I'm doing. I'm going to be honest in assessing how much I've accomplished or how little I've accomplished. You have to be real with yourself. How much money is enough? Bare minimum. One lump sum. I think the amount of money that is enough is the amount of money where you know for the rest of your life you're going to be able to live indoors, be able to eat where you want, have a couple of hobbies, and that's it. How much in terms of a number? That depends. What are your hobbies? Where do you live? Did you buy as needed or did you stocked up? What I would do when I started was every time I needed a part, I would buy 2 or 3 of them. I figured if this customer is calling me because they need this done, that means that's probably a repair that's in demand for whatever reason, because other people are doing it for too much money, because nobody else is doing it, or because this thing breaks all the time. So let me order 3. So this way I have 1 in stock for this person, but then I have 2 for the next time someone calls, and I organically built my inventory out that way. What about using components from countries that use forced labor like China? Listen, I'm all for stuff being made in the U.S. again. Make it happen. When you're a billionaire, the old store will be preserved like Hewlett-Packard's garage. You know, no one's moved into my old store yet. They haven't even cleaned it out or done anything with it yet. If I were rich, I'd keep the old store. I'd buy the building it's in, but that building it just sold recently for $14 million, so that's not really, that's not really economically viable or a good use of capital. Don't feel like you always have to accomplish something. Don't be hard on yourself. No, it's not about being hard. It's about being realistic. So many people lie to themselves. It's very easy to lie to yourself. You can be happy with where you are, but be honest. Always be honest. You can lie to everybody else in the world. You can lie to anybody that's in front of you. You can lie to your employees. You can lie to your family. You can lie to your loved ones. You can lie to your friends. You can't lie to yourself. That's when you fuck yourself. Where do you see your elf in 10 years? In the forest? My elf had better not be in the forest in 10 years. I wouldn't have let him go. My elf is right there. He organizes my parts for me. What are your thoughts on public education? Do you think they do a good job or not? At least not where I grew up. Where I grew up, it was absolutely miserable. And it wasn't because the schools weren't well funded. They're very well funded. I saw my experience in public school like being in prison, surrounded by people that did not want to be there, including the teachers themselves, who saw themselves as tyrants of their own domain, who enjoyed treating children like they were lesser than them or beneath them, rather than like equals. It's awful. I left school, like many students, not wanting to learn anymore because I associated learning with the treatment and the boredom and the misery of being in school. I almost hope that schools don't get reopened from COVID because I really want us to come up with a better way to teach children. There's got to be a better way to teach children than putting them into a prison for 8 hours a day. It's the only place over the course of my life where where there was a security guard at the door, bars in the windows, and a tyrant that was allowed to tell me whether or not I was allowed to take a piss. Awful. You want to repair videos because they're boring, not the rest. Don't equate the fun stuff with your stupid niche audience of repair videos. Yeah, but like even if I discuss something that's not repair, it often doesn't get much. I think it's just about being realistic. Because like if I tell myself I have 1 million subscribers, I'm kind of bullshitting myself. If I tell myself I have 20 to 40,000, I'm being realistic. And realistically speaking, 20 to 40,000 people watching is more than what 99% of people that have social media have watching their own account, which is still a lot of people. You have to think about it. My high school had 3,000 people in it. So 40,000 people, I shouldn't take me this long to calculate it, but I went to public school. God damn you, Susan Wagner. So that means that my YouTube channel has 13 times as many people watching it as the amount of people that went to my high school, which is insane to me, which is a lot of people. It's just not 1 million. That's bots. Probably bots. Where do you get donor boards? The person I got my chips from. I use in the basement, it seems like idle money being wasted. I use it to store a bunch of crap. I don't really know what I would be using it for. I haven't run out of space in the new store yet. It's not like there's income I could be making that I'm not making because I'm run out of space, like with the old store. With the old store, there was money I was missing out on because I didn't have enough space to do the job. So, school is also about social interaction, which kids desperately need. No, fuck that. That's not social interaction. That's awful. Putting people into a cage for 6 to 8 hours a day is not in any way social interaction. That's not it. Like, school is a terrible way to give people social interaction. In 2003, there was this one study. I got to find it and link it later. It was from 2003. It was like many children are least happy when they're at school or dealing with school activities. 2011, the U.S. Department of Education said about 28% of students are bullied during the school year. The Urban Institute said about 41% of middle school and high school students are bullied. Let's not even get into the sex abuse scandal from 2008 to 2013. 1,000 British teachers accused of sexually assaulting students. The public school I went to was a joke. Like, they didn't care at all about bullying or any of that shit. Like, if you got bullied when the teacher had their head turned, they knew what was going on. They just didn't care because it was aggravating to break it up. They'd actually have to do something or take a stand for something. I solved it by eventually, like, getting into weightlifting and getting in shape and then tossing the kid down the stairs. But, like, why should I have to do that? I haven't had to do that throughout my entire... Okay, there's been, like, one instance where I've had to deal with something like that on the streets in my entire fucking life. Like maybe 1 or 2 instances. But that shit was every day in school. Okay, Alexandra. Okay. Miss P. My theory is the reason you get so much bullying in school that you don't get in many other environments is because it's, again, you're forced there. You can't leave. For 6 to 8 hours a day, you're put into this cage. And I'm not surprised that you get such high instances of bullying. It's like the same thing with prison. Why is there so much violence in prisons? I don't know. You're putting people in cages and forcing them to be there. Thank you, Muscle. Alright, I gotta get out of here. See you all later. Fun stream. We haven't done this in a while. I was actually going to upload 2 board repair videos today, but I realized that I fucked up my recording of them yesterday. There's 2 board repairs. There's not board repairs, MacBook repairs, general, that I uploaded on the live random channel yesterday. I was going to edit them up, chop them up, and have 2 repair videos to upload, but the file is fucked, so I can't. I chose libx264 RGB instead of libx264 in OBS, so all the colors are scrambled. Anyway, see you all later. Thanks for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something. I hope you get a rocking chair like this one, too. It's really fun. This is so much fun. I rock, therefore I am.